On July 4, 2019, YouTuber and First Amendment auditor Christopher B. Derstadt was carrying out a First Amendment audit from a public sidewalk near the Mendota Lutheran Home in Mendota, Illinois. During the encounter, Officer Holland from the Mendota Police Department approached him. Police had received a complaint from people associated with the Lutheran home who believed Mr. Derstadt was attempting to record the interior of the building while remaining outside.
Hey there. Chris, what are you doing? I'm getting complaints about you. Hold on. Chris, come here. Why are you recording the nursing home? Chris, come here. I'm talking to you. Why are you recording the nursing home? You're upsetting the people who live here. Chris, stop walking. Stop. What is going on? Why are you recording the... Chris?
At this stage, Mr. Derstadt is no longer simply having a casual interaction with police. He has been detained and is legally required to comply with the officer's lawful commands. The Supreme Court's decision in Terry v. Ohio established that a seizure occurs when an officer, through physical restraint or an authoritative command, restricts a person's freedom. Once Officer Holland directed Mr. Derstadt to stop, the encounter became an official detention. Whether a particular police command was legally justified is generally something a court determines afterward. Under the legal framework discussed here, a person may later challenge an improper order in court, but should not personally decide during the encounter that the order is invalid. I have examined detentions extensively in previous videos, so I will not repeat that full discussion here. However, reviewing those earlier episodes may help explain how investigative detentions operate and how they connect to Fourth Amendment protections.
Why are you recording the nursing home? I'm speaking to you. I'm getting complaints about your actions. What is going on? Chris!
Please let me go.
No, I need to find out what's going on. You're upsetting the people who work here. So stop.
I'm gonna go.
I'm ordering you to stop. So stop.
You work for me, I don't work for you.
Well, I work for the public who called me here because of the actions
Did I do anything illegal?
You're upsetting the people who live here.
Did I do anything illegal?
27 from 156. Can you assist? You need to stop, okay?
I'm gonna...
What is going on and why
is this illegal?
I want to know what's going on because you're upsetting these people. I want to know what you're doing.
Did I do anything illegal? I don't answer questions. Definitely not to you.
Disorderly conduct, Chris.
Disorderly conduct how?
You're alarming and disturbing the people who
Am I allowed to photograph on the...
Section 26(1) of the Illinois Criminal Code addresses disorderly conduct. Under that provision, a person may violate the law by knowingly acting in an unreasonable way that alarms or disturbs another person and creates a risk of a breach of the peace. This type of statute demonstrates how broad legal language can sometimes create significant problems. Terms such as unreasonable, alarm, and disturb can depend heavily on personal interpretation. Similar broadly written laws exist throughout the country. Critics argue that such statutes can give officers substantial discretion and may sometimes be used against people who have violated no other specific law. Later in this episode, we will take a closer look at whether Mr. Derstadt's actions actually amounted to criminal conduct.
Figure out what you're doing.
Okay.
Chris?
Look,
I'm going to put you in handcuffs if you don't stop.
You can put me in handcuffs.
Okay, then stop.
No, you can put me in handcuffs. This isn't legal.
Stop.
This is not legal.
What are you doing?
This is not legal.
Chris?
This is not legal. I'm going about my day.
I'm detaining you until I can find out what you're doing and why you're doing this.
This is illegal. That's a Terry stop.
I'm detaining you.
That's a Terry stop.
A Terry stop is an investigative detention carried out when law enforcement has reasonable suspicion that criminal activity may be occurring. Mr. Derstadt is correct in identifying Officer Holland's actions as a Terry stop. The officer's suspicion appears to have come from information provided through a 911 call received by the Mendota Police Department. The Supreme Court has recognized that information reported through emergency calls can, depending on the circumstances, contribute to reasonable suspicion. I have discussed that legal issue in other episodes, which will be linked above. We do not know exactly what the caller told police. However, the officers indicated that the complaint included concerns about Mr. Derstadt's mental condition because his behavior was considered unusual. Based on the information relayed to Officer Holland, a court could potentially conclude that the officers were legally permitted to briefly stop and investigate him. As Officer Holland places Mr. Derstadt in handcuffs, Sergeant Stewart arrives at the location.
Stewart, I've detained him because he walked away from me. He won't tell me what's going on, and he's recording people inside of the Lutheran home.
Why are you recording them inside?
And he will not give me that answer. He keeps
I
moving
don't.
away from
I'm
me.
definitely not answering questions to you guys, but
Okay, I'll hold them. Go see if they'll sign a complaint for disorderly
Absolutely.
conduct.
this,
Why are you being
And
that
his
way,
phone is
dude?
still
like
recording.
what?
He
Hey,
doesn't
can I not
You can.
photograph on the sidewalk?
They
Am I
were
allowed to?
they were concerned that you were photographing residents inside.
No, there wasn't.
You weren't. You
No.
just photographing
Look, all these blinds are closed. Yeah.
along here. I don't know if
Yeah,
they are or
look,
not.
Go look at them. All right.
Why wouldn't you stop when she asked you to?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Was I being detained?
Yes.
What crime was I suspected of committing?
Many people incorrectly believe that police must suspect a particular, clearly identified crime before they can detain someone. The standard created by Terry v. Ohio is broader than that. An officer may conduct an investigative stop when specific, articulable facts create reasonable suspicion that some form of criminal activity could be taking place. The suspected offense does not always need to be completely identified before the investigation begins. Recording or taking photographs from a public sidewalk is not automatically illegal. At the same time, First Amendment protections are not unlimited. People can have a legally recognized expectation of privacy in certain circumstances. In the 1967 Supreme Court decision Katz v. United States, Justice John Marshall Harlan described a two-part approach for evaluating privacy expectations. The test asks, first, whether the person actually expected privacy, and, second, whether society would consider that expectation objectively reasonable. Even so, the First Amendment generally protects photography from public places. What is openly visible from a lawful public location may generally be recorded. Although someone inside a home may believe they have privacy, courts have repeatedly recognized that recording something visible through an open window from a public location can still fall within constitutional
Wanna go that
protections.
route?
What crime?
We're
was I
investigating somebody acting in a disorderly manner.
How?
You're video recording a nursing home and
But
you were upsetting the
photography
residents.
on the sidewalk.
We didn't know that. Don't we have to talk about it?
Photography on the sidewalk. Do I have
Okay.
to answer questions to that? No, I don't.
Wow.
Do I?
Where'd you get your law degree, man?
Do I? Dude, I was videotaping from the sidewalk. This is a universe. This is a right.
I have no idea, man. You won't cooperate with us and tell us what's going on. You're being asked to cooperate, and the
That's right.
police officer's giving you a direct order, and you won't stop.
Because I don't have to, because I didn't
Yes,
do
you
anything
did.
illegal. No.
So that's in your opinion, not ours.
No, it's not an opinion.
Okay.
I did not do anything illegal
Okay.
in general.
Okay.
The Fifth Amendment protection, commonly described as the right to remain silent, can be extremely useful during an encounter with police. In many situations, remaining silent as much as reasonably possible may be the safest approach. However, using that right effectively can require some balance. The purpose of remaining silent is to avoid providing information that could later be used to incriminate you. At the same time, there may be situations in which a person must provide certain basic information, such as identification where legally required. A person may generally choose not to answer questions during many police encounters, but complete silence is not always necessarily the best strategy. Afterward, courts may evaluate what happened based not only on spoken words but also on the person's conduct. If someone never clearly states why they are refusing to speak or what constitutional right they are exercising, a court may later interpret those circumstances differently. A similar issue arose with Iowa Auditor Daniel Robbins. He was arrested after recording a police station from a public sidewalk and later lost his related lawsuit. One factor discussed was that he did not clearly explain that he was recording as part of exercising a constitutional right, leaving the court to assess his intentions based on the available circumstances. I have covered Mr. Robbins's encounter separately, and that episode will be linked above. Had Mr. Derstad clearly stated that he was recording in the exercise of his First Amendment rights, it might have helped clarify his purpose, reduce tension during the encounter, and potentially support his position if the matter later reached court.
The only reason I came here and photographed was because I knew it was within my rights.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, if that's all you were doing, but if you're videotaping and taking pictures of people inside there, that's a different story. Or if you're going on their property acting in a disorderly manner, that's your problem. to deal with.
Officer Holland eventually returns with someone who appears to work at the facility. She then tells Mr. Derstadt that he is being placed under arrest for disorderly conduct. Sergeant Stewart begins escorting him toward the patrol vehicle. Then the situation takes a surprising turn.
Videotaping the building, he's like zooming in on the
What-
windows,
what-
zooming
that's-
in on the doors. I know.
It's
and
not illegal to do
so
that.
I explained to them what's going on, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, okay, I don't know what he's doing."
Okay, but time out. That's not illegal to do that.
Okay.
So he's not acting in a disorderly manner if he's on the sidewalk walking by videotaping the outside of the building.
Okay. But,
That's the problem we have.
yeah, and they were disturbed by his actions once they found out what was going on.
But how are they? They're disturbed that he's walking on the sidewalk
They
videotaping?
were concerned because they don't know his mental state. They don't know what he was doing. And I told him I can't.
Well,
answer
he
those
wasn't, I mean, other than not obeying you, which is a no-no, which, I mean, that is what it is, but as far as walking by with a video camera, I mean, I'm not, that's not something that,
questions. They said
even
they
though
were
they're,
bothered by the actions that he was doing.
you could be bothered by a lot of things, Sam.
After Sergeant Stewart becomes involved, Officer Holland removes Mr. Derstadt's handcuffs. Following a calm discussion between Mr. Derstadt and the sergeant, he is allowed to leave. The officers then depart, and the encounter ends without any further conflict. Overall, I would give Officer Holland a C-. She may have had legal grounds to temporarily detain Mr. Derstadt and investigate the complaint. However, her conduct appears to suggest that she was seeking a complaint from a staff member that could support an arrest, rather than independently determining whether an arrest was truly justified. The practice of officers encouraging people to pursue charges can be difficult to prove, but it is a concern that arises in some police interactions. In certain situations, an officer may focus on finding a basis for an arrest instead of taking the time to fully evaluate every side of a dispute. Anyone who has dealt with law enforcement may understand that concern. Officer Holland appeared to follow the familiar pattern of prioritizing an immediate restoration of order over a careful determination of justice. Fortunately, Sergeant Stewart intervened and changed the direction of the situation. Sergeant Stewart earns an A+. He spoke with Mr. Derstadt firmly while remaining respectful and professional. He also questioned Officer Holland's approach and ultimately directed that Mr. Derstadt be released. It is becoming increasingly uncommon to see officers with a strong working knowledge of constitutional protections. It is even more unusual to see a supervising officer challenge another officer's proposed charges on constitutional grounds. Sergeant Stewart deserves recognition for understanding the relevant issues, questioning Officer Holland's conclusions, and helping ensure that the situation ended both peacefully and fairly. Officers with that level of legal awareness are valuable in supervisory roles, and Sergeant Stewart demonstrated strong policing throughout this incident. Mr. Derstadt receives a B+. There is a reasonable argument that he was engaged in activity protected by the Constitution. However, choosing to record outside a retirement facility also raises legitimate ethical concerns. The constitutional awareness movement gains very little by recording a facility in a way that frightens or unsettles elderly residents. Actions like that can create a negative impression of the movement rather than advancing public understanding of constitutional rights. Some residents may also be especially vulnerable or easily disturbed, making the decision to point a camera toward such a facility seem unnecessary and disrespectful. Mr. Derstadt also could have used his Fifth Amendment protections more effectively by clearly communicating his intention to exercise his constitutional rights. Despite that, he remained composed and controlled throughout the interaction. He ultimately left without facing criminal charges. He would also benefit from studying Terry v. Ohio more closely and developing a stronger understanding of reasonable suspicion and investigative detention. Overall, Mr. Derstadt handled many parts of the encounter reasonably well. As his understanding of the law improves, his ability to conduct audits and make ethical decisions may improve as well. I look forward to seeing how he develops as an auditor and encourage viewers who support his work to visit his channel through the link in the description. If there is another police encounter or legal issue you would like us to examine, leave your suggestions in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember to like the video and subscribe for more police interaction content.